Hello everyone. In this video lecture, we will study topics sensitivity training, that is also known as laboratory training techniques, managerial grid, transactional analysis, and the last one, that is intergroup behavior and collaboration. So let's start with the video lecture. So first we will study the sensitivity training, that is also known as laboratory learning techniques. So definition of sensitivity training is that it is an unorganized meeting held between the group members, generally fewer in number, basically we can say 5 to 10 members, away from the workplace to gain an insight of their own as well as the others behavior. So it is a kind of the informal meeting held at the another place, that is other place than the organization. It simply means that putting the oneself in other member's shoes and behaving in a given situation from his point of view. So it is the mental ability that an individual possesses, that enables him to be sensitive and understand the emotions of others, and at the same time being able to manage their own behavior and impulse. So that's why it is known as a sensitivity training. It is also known by various names, such as the T group or a training group, laboratory training techniques, and also the encounter group. So in meeting there is a passive leader who tries to maintain the self psychological atmosphere where each member feel free to share whatever is there in their mind. Next is that there are the three steps which are essential for the sensitivity training. Under this, the first one is the unfreezing the old value. Here, the group members should keep their old beliefs and perceptions about the others members aside and motivate them to speak freely, whatever in their mind. So, by doing so, there is a chance that each member will heard carefully, and new relations can be formed by eliminating the misconceptions that were created in the past. Second one is that development of new values. So, once the member is allowed to speak freely, the behavior of each other can be determined easily through the interactions in the form of feedback. Thus, at this stage, the members start developing the value or belief about each other, rephrasing the new ones. The belief formed through the interaction with each group member, individual tries to freeze the perception or the behavior in this mind. The success of sensitivity training depends upon how the trainee gets an opportunity to practice their new behavior at their workplace. So these three are basically the Kurt Lewin methods of change, that is unfreezing, changing or moving, and then again refreezing. Now the next topic is managerial grid. The managerial grid is a technique which is developed by the managerial grid is a technique which is developed by Blackhard and Mountain. Blackhard and It is developed by the Blackhard and Mountain. He develops the multi-step training to cultivate the skills, in turn improves the organizational performance. So here the managerial grid is a revolutionized model which is most widely uses the approach to system-wide plan development. This technique is a methodical approach that aims at achieving the corporate excellence. It is a comprehensive and systematic development program which target at individual, group, and organization as a whole. So here the grid, then this program. Here, the grid organization development starts with an individual and their behavior pattern, particularly the managerial and the leadership style of executive. Then, this program moves through the series of phases involving the work team, relationship between the groups or the subgroups, and finally the overall organization, its work environment, and the overall culture. Next is that the managerial grid is basically based on the two behavioral dimensions. Here, the first one is the concern for people, and second one is the concern for production. Concern for people. So this is a kind of a degree to which the leader consider the need of a team members, their interest, the area of a personal development while deciding how best to accomplish a task. And second one is the concern for production. So this is a degree to which the leaders emphasize concrete objectives, organizational efficiency, and high productivity when deciding how best to accomplish a task. So this model is represented in a grid format where there is a Concern for people is in the y-axis and concern for production is in the x-axis. There are the five resulting leadership style in managerial grid. Under this, the first style is 1 9. Under the 1 and 9, that is known as the country club style. In this, there is a high concern for the people, and there is a low concern for the production. No concern for the production, and it is the most concerned about the need and the feeling of the members of his or his team. So he pays much attention to the security and comfort of employees, and he hopes that this will increase the performance. He is most incapable of employing the more punitive and coercive or legitimate power. Here the organizational will end up to be friendly atmosphere but not necessarily very productive. This country club style mainly uses the reward power to preserve the discipline and to support his subordinates in accomplishing the goals. Second one is produce or a Paris, that is 9-1 under this grid. This is characterized by the high concern for the production and the low concern for the people. So in this style, the manager is authoritarian or compliance. He finds employee needs unimportant and simply a means to an end. He provides his employees with the money and accept the performance back. Next one is under 1-1 grade, that is improvised style. This style is basically on low concern for the production and the low concern for the people. So it delegate and disappear management style, and it is a kind of lazy approach. He or under this manager avoid the getting into the trouble. His concern is not to be hold the responsible for his mistakes. So manager uses this style to preserve the job and job seniority and protecting themselves by avoiding getting into the trouble. This kind of a leadership is mostly ineffective. Next one is under the 5-5 grid, that is the middle of the road style. This is a kind of a realistic medium without ambition, and there is a medium concern for both production and people, and it is a balanced and compromised style. And here the manager tries to balance the competing goals of the company and the need of the workers. The manager gives the some concern both for the people and the production, hoping to achieve acceptable performance, and he believes that this is the most that anyone can do in an organization. Now the last one is under the 9-9 grid, that is of the team leadership style, in which there is a high concern for the production and also there is a high concern for the people. Here the motivation level is quite high, and this is the soft style which is based on the proposition theory of theory Y of Douglas McGregor. Here the manager encourages the teamwork and commitment among employees, and this style emphasizes making the employees feel part of the company family and involving them in understanding the organizational purpose and determining the production needs. This will create a team environment based on the trust and respect, which lead to the high satisfaction, and high satisfaction will lead to the motivation and thus results in high production. Now the next topic is the transactional analysis. Transactional analysis is widely recognized as a form of modern psychology, which is one of the most acceptable theories of psychologies at this time. In a simple terms, transactional analysis is a kind of a technique which promotes the personal growth, and so that the change can be bring in the behavior of the people. It is to be considered as a fundamental therapy for a well-being and for helping an individual to reach to the full potential in all aspects of life. It is founded by Eric Berne in late 1915, and this theory is generally based that each person has the three ego state: parent ego state, adult ego state, and child ego state. They are used along with the other key transactional analysis concept or tools and methods to analyze that how the individual communicate and identify that which interaction or what interaction is needed for a better outcome. Now the key concepts of transactional analysis. There are the first one, that is ego state. The ego state refers to the three major parts of individual personality, and each reflect an entire system of thought, feeling, and behavior. So there are the three ego states. First one is the parent ego state. It is rooted in the past, and it is a set of a thought, feeling, or a behavior that is learned from our parents and other important people. So this part of our personality can be supportive or critical. Next is adult ego state. So it is rooted in the present and related to the direct response in the here and now, and learned for and that are not influenced by our past, and this tends to be the more rational part of our personality. Now the third one is the child ego state, which is rooted in the past and set as a thought, feeling, and behavior which is learned from our childhood, and this can be free and natural and strongly adapted by our adapted to the parental influences. So our ego state determines then how we express ourselves as an individual, interacts with each other, and form the relationship. The simplicity of terminology used in the transactional analysis makes this model very accessible, and the beauty of this model is that people intuitively understand the concept very quickly and accurately discuss which ego state they may have been at the given time. Now the next topic is intergroup behavior and collaboration. So organization consists of the many group created formally or informally. So existence of the group will generally lead to the intergroup competition. So whole of the phenomena of intergroup behavior is based on two things. The first one is that what happens within the group and what happens between the competing groups. So there are the two approaches for the intergroup relationship or the collaboration, which are given by two scientists. The first one is given by Regis Likert, and the second one is stated by J. Thompson. So let us discuss this two one by one. So the first approach given by the Regis Likert is that. Uh, so according to the Likert, so organization encompasses a series of overlapping groups, and each group is linked to the rest of the organization by a person who holds the membership in more than one group. And these peoples are called the linking pins, as they forge the link between the different groups. Though the success of decision making depends upon the group process and interaction occurring at the different level, yet everything revolves around this person who is known as the linking pin. So apart from this linking pin, the success of an organization depends upon the two factors. First one is the good group process of decision making, and the second one is supervision. Both of these two elements is duly insulated by linking pins and will generate the intergroup confidence and trust. It will also enhance the problem solving ability of the group, which will result in the better productivity level. And the second approach is given by J. Thompson. According to the Likert theory, which is well accepted, but it is based on the assumption that there exists the equal interdependence among the different groups. But Thompson suggests that there are the three different kind of interdependence among the groups. Under this, the first interdependence is the pooled interdependence. So pooled interdependence occurs when a group rely on each other only because they belongs to the same parent organization, and the success and failure of one may be reflected in another through the medium of total organization system. And here the pool interdependence does not need any interaction between the group, hence the conflict does not arise, and the coordination may however be forced through the standardization and the rules formulated by the parent officer. Second one is sequential interdependence. So it means that the work of one group depends upon the performance of other. However, both the groups are sustained by organization. The interdependence is both pooled and sequential. So this type of interdependence may be regulated by proper planning and controlling the chances that conflicts between the groups in which that are higher than pooled interdependence. Next is reciprocal interdependence. So reciprocal interdependence means that each group is dependent on each other, and the operation of each group precede and act as a prerequisite to the functioning of other group. So because here the each group relies on another to perform its job effectively, so any problem between them may result in reduced productivity or decreased satisfaction. So here the reciprocal interdependence ought to be coordinated by mutual adjustment between the groups, and it requires the greater communication and understanding to avoid the possible conflict. So these are the three interdependence techniques. Thank you so much.